I did it. I did it. I did it. I walked on water. I remember as if it was only 100 years ago. It was a stormy night. We were in the boat with the guys, and we were trying to not die. We were having a hard time with the high winds, the high waves. It was tough. It was very difficult. And then around 3 in the morning, we see a figure, a shadow on the water out in the distance. And we got scared. We were terrified. Some of the guys even said it was a ghost. But then we heard the voice that said, "Don't be afraid. Take courage. It's me." At that moment, we knew who it was. It was Jesus. But I wasn't too sure. I had doubts. So then I dared to ask him to do something I knew only Jesus could do. Because the previous day, I had seen him feed more than 5,000 people with a few pieces of bread and a few pieces of fish. So I knew Jesus could do amazing things and amazing miracles. So I dared to ask him something that only Jesus could do, and that was for me to walk on water. So I said, "Lord, if it's you, call me to come to you walking on the water." And his answer was, "Come." When I heard those words, I felt this energy inside of me. Electricity flowing through my veins and through my bones. I felt excited and courage, and I had no doubts. I had never been so sure about anything in my life. Everything became in slow motion, and I could still hear the thunder and the roaring of the wind. But I had no doubts. I was gonna walk on water. So then I put my foot on the side of the boat, and as I see my foot getting closer and closer to the water, and I feel my sandal touching the water, and as I put more weight on my foot, it's not sinking. I had stepped on water. But then, that wasn't enough. Jesus had called me to walk on water, so I had to give another step. And the second step required more courage and more faith, because I was gonna be completely off the boat. But then when I gave that other step, I didn't sink. I was walking on water. Walking on water. I knew Jesus was the only one who could allow me to do that. I knew my faith in the Son of God was what allowed me to do that. So I kept walking and walking. But then, as I started hearing the thunder and the wind, the roaring, and I started thinking about what I was actually doing, doubt started invading my mind. And that's when I sank. And as I was trying to grasp for air, I was just trying to yell, "Lord, help me, please!" And I felt his hand grab me and pull me out. And he said, "Why did you doubt me? Why did you doubt me?" And then he brought me to the boat, and we could not stop worshiping. And because we knew that he was the Son of God. We knew that he was the Son of God. The next morning, I was amazed when we arrived at the shore at the amount of people that were looking for Jesus. He had fed them. So now they believed. But then Jesus confronted them and said, "The only reason why you're looking for me is because I fed you. Not because you understand the signs I've been doing." And then Jesus said, "I am the bread of life that came down from heaven." And when he said that, people started talking. How does this man dare to say he came down from heaven? We know his parents. We know he's the son of Joseph, son of Mary. And to be honest, even us, his disciples were doubting a little. It was hard to believe and understand what Jesus was saying. And then people started leaving. They just turned around and they walked away. And Jesus looked to us. He turned to us and he was like, do you guys want to leave as well? And at this time, I had to stand firm. I could not doubt anymore. I had to have faith in him. This is where my faith became everything I had. I wasn't going to leave Jesus because I had seen his power in my life. I had seen the power of his words in my life. So then all I could do was stand there and be like, Jesus, to whom will I go? If you are the only one that has words of eternal life. You are the one. You are the Holy One. But it took a lot of faith not to leave. But it was easier for me because I had seen the power of God. I had walked on water. I had walked on water. And when I told Jesus that I wasn't leaving, that I was trusting in him, I could see his smile. I could see his love. An expression full of love for me. And I could feel how much I loved him. I loved Jesus. I loved him with all of my heart, with all of my strength. I would even die for him. I would go to prison with him. And in fact, I told him that night before he died. But when I told him that, he said, Peter, tomorrow before the rooster crows, you will deny you even know me 3 times. What he was saying was absurd. He obviously didn't know how much I loved him. But yet, the next day I denied him 3 times. I denied my love for him 3 times. How could I do that? I had walked on water. I understood the power of Jesus. I understood he was the Son of God. And I said, I don't know him. I've never seen him before. And then he was gone. The person I loved the most was gone. But he came back, and you know that. He came back. And then there was a day when we were in the boat with the guys again, and we were having a tough time catching fish. We would throw the net and nothing, throw the net and nothing. And then we heard a voice, throw it on the right-hand side of the boat. And we did it, and the fish were overflowing. And when I saw the fish, I knew there's only one guy who can do that. And it was Jesus. And this time when I saw Jesus out in the distance, I jumped on the water. It doesn't matter if I wasn't walking on water, but I just had to run and go as fast as I could to him. Because he was Jesus. When I got to him, he had breakfast for us. I had denied him 3 times and he loved me still. And when we finished eating, he said, Peter, do you love me? Yes. I love you, Lord. You know I love you. And then he asked me again and again. I had just denied him 3 times, but then he gave me the opportunity to declare my love for him 3 times. And you see, his love for us is different. I loved him because of the things he had done in my life and the miracles I had seen. But he loved me even though he knew I was going to fail him and deny him. His love cannot be compared by any of us and cannot be understood by any of us. And I believe that the reason why he asked me 3 times if I loved him was because he knew that the ministry that was ahead of me was going to be hard, was going to be tough, painful, and it was going to be a long race of life. So I had to really believe that I loved him. And then I realized something. My whole life I lived for him. And I would die for him just so that then I could live eternity with him. And my only desire in my life was to be at the feet of Jesus when I died. But you know what's the crazy thing? I thought that the purpose of faith was so that we could do amazing things and believe in him. I thought that the purpose of faith was so that we could do amazing things so others would believe in him. I thought that the purpose of faith was so that we could walk in water. That's not the purpose of our faith. Because yes, that night I walked on water. Each step of faith I took led me to walk on water. But where did it get me to the end? By the end, I was at the feet of Jesus. My faith led me to the feet of Jesus. Walking on water was just the steps that I had to take. And my faith led me to the place where I always want to be and I want you to be, which is at the feet of Jesus. So if you're using faith in order to achieve your goals, you're using it wrong. If you're using faith in order to get a better job or better grades, you're using it wrong. If you're using your faith just to walk on water, you're using it wrong. Use your faith so that at the end, you lay in front of the feet of Jesus. That's what faith is for. That's what faith is for. And don't love Jesus because of the things he's done in your life, but love him because he loved you first.
Carlos.
Good job, everybody. Oh, seriously.
Stay, give feedback. Good to see you.